an American education, man could form a better morality. Wealthy elitists agreed with him.
When the Rockefeller Foundation in 1902 set up its General Board of Education, which became the forerunner of the National Education Association, they had a clear idea of what they wanted, what kinds of citizens they thought should be trained. John Dewey, he was funded by those organizations. You also saw those same organizations giving money to colleges and universities. Money was given, but the university had to break from the church.
So in the late 1800s, you have the advancement of a scientific university. So Johns Hopkins was one of the first. And it was one of the first that didn't have Christ as a center point of the university, even though still they had a chapel in the middle of the college. When Christ first got kicked out of the college, people thought, well, we can keep doing these things. We don't need Christ there. The problem is the loss of the moral plumb line is enormous. It is a huge cost.
The progressives did not want the American student to simply forget about the Western Christian paideia. They wanted each of them to despise it. You see, the progressives have always viewed our foundation as a barrier to progress, which was why they created a new curriculum to combat our Christian roots.
It was a huge shift from the liberal arts to social science. This was the rise of these new disciplines of sociology and psychology. These were all very new at the turn of the century.
Because you're right, I'm used to social studies.
Yeah, I mean, these people didn't view history as central to education the way our founders had. Our founders thought that history should really be kind of the centerpiece of education for citizenship, so people understood how we got where we are over the last 3,000 years and the kinds of challenges human beings have faced as they tried to live together. And all that was kind of dismissed by these new social scientists. And they didn't think there was that much to learn. They looked at history through the lens of contemporary problems. They were going to use it in a utilitarian way, How can we solve current problems, but with our own expertise?
In introducing this new educational program to teachers, the 1916 Committee on Social Studies stated, "The social studies differ from other studies, for the keynote of modern education is social efficiency." This report prescribed that any history taught in school should be studied because it is either practical or functional.
They have not taught history in America for a very long time. And at its root, the social sciences do not believe we were made in God's image but fallen. All of the social sciences, pedagogy, anthropology, sociology, psychology, in all of those sciences, so-called, man is a product of socioeconomic, political forces over which we have no control. So there is no inherent dignity to human beings, and what happens in social studies is we're trying to bend the past so that we can remake these young people. But as C.S. Lewis said, whereas the Western Christian paideia is like a mother hen trying to teach the children hens how to fly, modern progressive social studies is about getting the chickens ready to be slaughtered in the slaughterhouse.
It may seem like a stretch to suggest that the social sciences have led to the leftist madness we have seen in today's classrooms. After all, each and every one of us have taken a class within this discipline.